Hello, everybody.
Howdy.
We're back.
Yes, I'm going to take another look at the 2017 convention, some of the video clips here.
Oy vey.
Yes, and quite honestly, if you're waiting for that, that 20-hour long my thoughts on the 2017 district convention, this ain't it. We're going to make this short and sweet. This is just bullshit. That's what it is.
Yeah. To be honest, this is just so ludicrous anymore that I'm having a hard time even listening to these talks.
Yeah. Watchtower is definitely sending mixed messages. They're installing false memories, as we saw the grandpa talk about, 1975. The Watchtower is installing false memories because the things that the grandpa says about 1975 didn't happen. And what we have here now with this particular video is Watchtower is now installing false reality. No, not false reality, false expectations.
Subtle, I think they're implanting subtle, behavior. Now, you guys have to remember that our daughter just graduated as a sociology major. Yeah. And so I've shown her a few of this, and she said that the thing with the 1975 is Watchtower is trying to change their history, and I forget all of the long words she used, but they're trying to implant new memories in people. I believe it was Hitler in his book Mein Kampf that even said, if you tell a lie enough,
if you repeat a lie
enough, it becomes true.
Right.
It becomes the truth. So I think, I found this, I told Mike, we've got to do a video about this because being a woman, being an ex-sister, I found this very misogynistic and it made me angry.
Yeah.
Because
it made me angry.
Yeah, it made him angry too.
It made me angry because I can actually see how unfair this is to sisters, especially when we get and show the contrast in this.
Yeah, so why don't we show the clip? And there wasn't much we could cut out of this clip because it's all so good. But it's just maybe about 3 minutes long, 2.5 minutes long, something like that. So watch this and pause it if you need to, because there was a lot in here and a lot of things that we noticed. So we'll see if you notice the same things.
Hey, Mom.
Morning, Noah.
You going on a service?
No, I actually have some things I need to get done, and then I was hoping to do some painting or sketching later.
Oh, good.
Nice.
You must be ahead on your schedule. You ready, son?
Ready.
Thanks for lunch. Have a good day.
Bye, Mom. Love you.
I've been planning this day off for months now. I really want a chance to relax and paint. I hardly ever get to take some time off. Nothing's going to get in the way. Hi, Anne.
Hey, Rach. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Well, I'm on the way to the hall for service, and I was wondering if later today, maybe if you had some time, I started a new study with this young girl.
Oh, nice. Actually, I already have plans for the day.
Oh, okay.
What about Sarah?
I checked. She has plans.
Daisy?
No.
Simone?
No. That's okay. I'll find somebody.
Thanks so much for understanding, Anne. I felt bad, but she didn't seem to mind. Like she said, I'm sure she'll find someone. Wow, look at that. My old memory book. I haven't seen this in a while. Dad's cards always gave me such good advice.
Rachel, self-control is more than just refraining from doing bad. It compels us to do good, like kingdom preaching. Don't let the unwilling flesh extinguish the fire of a willing spirit. Love, Dad.
Self-control. I never thought of it that way before. There's nothing wrong with taking a day off. But Anne does need help. And I'll still have time to paint when I get back. Change of plans, Rachel. Hi, Anne. This is Rachel. Did you find anybody to go on the Bible study with you? Could I go with you? Perfect. Where can I meet you? See you soon. I'm glad I decided to help Anne. That was such a good Bible study. And I still have time to paint. This turned out to be a great day.
Okay, now first off in this clip, the way the husband says ahead of your schedule, so it appears that she's a regular pioneer.
Right, because if she was working in a secular job, those words, "Oh, you must be ahead of your schedule," your work schedule wouldn't appear. So, like you said, dear, it really implants that she's a regular pioneer and that she's ahead on her hours. And having been a regular pioneer myself, I would try to do the same thing, build up some hours so I could take time off to do personal things. And it appears that that's what she's done because she's been planning on this for months.
Yeah, and that was another point. She says that she had been planning this for months, meaning this poor woman has not had a day off for herself in months.
Yeah.
And then Russia, says that they slave for, the organization. And Watchtower's like, no, we don't. Well, this is proof right here that they do slave away.
Yeah. And it's interesting because when you watch the film clip and as it progresses, you get that knock on the door and the sister comes and, "Oh, I'm looking for somebody to go on a Bible study with me." And the sister, names 3 or 4 different sisters? Well, what about so-and-so? Well, she's busy. What about so-and-so? Well, she's busy. What about... So now, this is the guilt that Watchtower is laying and putting upon these poor sisters, because then she goes from that to looking at some letters and some cards that her father gave her, and then the one thing that she reads is something about the unwilling flesh.
Self-control.
Yeah, self-control and the unwilling flesh.
So let me see if I get this right. Wanting to take a day off after months of planning this. And, she even looks tired. She looks tired to me.
Yeah.
So she's been planning this for months, and they have to do this guilt that, she's not going to have anybody to go with her if... I don't go. And it's like, wow.
And here again, if you've been a regular pioneer, like I have, you know that there's going to be more than one occasion when you're going to be required to conduct a Bible study all on your own. That's just a given, people. For myself, I became very comfortable going from door to door all by myself, because on a day that we were supposed to go out in service, the people canceled down on me. I guess they must have had more important things to do than go out in service with Mikey. I don't know. Maybe they were painting. I don't know. This is false expectations, Watchtower. But yet, you use guilt words like unwilling flesh. Unbelievable.
So if you want to take a day off, you obviously have no self-control.
Right.
So you have to slave away until you drop dead.
Yeah. And it's interesting that when you get to the end of the video clip here, it appears, Watchtower makes it appears that she still had time to paint. Well, here comes the false expectation, because when you go back to the beginning, when she's being invited to go on this Bible study, it's later in the day. So you assume now it's in the afternoon. So let's just run through a quick little timeline here.
Even if it's just at 1 o'clock.
Yeah. So let's just say these 2 sisters get to the Bible study at 1 o'clock. By the time you get done with the idle chit chat, it's probably pushing 1:30. You say your little prayer. You open up your, what does the Bible really teach book, because we know Jehovah's Witnesses don't study the Bible. They study a book that appears they're studying the Bible, but it's not. So let's just say, that's 1:30 by the time they get done with the little chit chat. 1:30, an hour goes by, It's 2:30. Let's just say they do about another 10, 15 minutes worth of chit chat. So it's it's 1:30, 2:30, quarter to 3. So by the time the two sisters get home and say their goodbyes, it's probably 3:15, 3:30.
Well, you have to go back to the Kingdom Hall because
True.
one left their car there.
More likely.
So you stand talking in the parking lot.
Right, more than likely do this. So now we're pushing about 3:30 at the earliest, 3:30. Now keep in mind, her husband went to work earlier in the day, and her kid went to school. Now, school kids do not go to school till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. School kids usually start coming home at about 4 o'clock?
Yeah, but he's old enough to take care of himself.
Yeah, but still though, I mean, come on. What mom in their right mind is going to let their child come home to an empty home?
My sister did.
Well, I said right mind. I'm not talking about liberal lunatics here, Kim. I'm not talking about idiots that dare to hold up a severed head to the President of the United States. I'm not talking about that kind of stupidity.
I don't think my sister would do something like that. Well, I don't know. She might.
She might. But anyhow, what I'm talking about here is that in a normal course of the day, parents like to come home to greet their children when they come home at school. So you're talking about maybe 4 o'clock. But keep in mind, her husband will probably be home between 5 and 5:30.
Yeah, she may have to stop at the grocery store.
She may.
And then let's not forget, you sisters have to make dinner.
How much time? Now keep in mind, you're already coming home from this Bible study about 3:30 in the afternoon. Your kid's probably going to be home between 4 and 4:30, and your husband's going to be home between 5 and 5:30. So how much time does that really leave you to set up an easel, get your paints all mixed and the colors right, and then go off to your site to paint as this sister clearly did, because I just about damn well guarantee you that she did not open up her back door and have that beautiful scenery to paint.
It looks like she's out in the middle of nowhere.
She had to go somewhere to paint. You see what I'm saying, Jehovah's Witnesses? How this is not a video in reality. When you try to cram in an afternoon Bible study and an afternoon of painting.
The thing is they're trying to give you the false reality that you can go out in service and go on this Bible study and still have time to do everything you need to do and to paint.
Yeah. No, you don't. These are false realities that Watchtower is trying to guilt you into thinking that you can still serve Jehovah, but you can still have time to paint. Now,
I was just going to say, and do you think that clip was bad enough on its own?
Oh, I'm sure it wasn't.
We've got another clip.
I don't like to study. It's so boring.
I used to find it hard to study too. And then I realized study can be like exercise. It may not seem enjoyable at first, but once you make the effort and then establish a regular routine, it becomes enjoyable, even fun.
Wow.
Did you catch it?
Misogynistic. Okay, what is Grandpa doing?
What is Grandpa doing? Grandpa has time to do what?
Paint. Why isn't he out in service?
Did you notice the details on that painting? Why isn't he studying for the meeting? Why isn't he doing something theocratic?
Yeah. But do you guys notice the misogynistic, viewpoint? It's like, sisters, you're not allowed, it's really basically frowned on that you cannot have a hobby, you have to take care of your family, you have to do spiritual things first. And they always said that women were the large army that were doing the preaching work. So they don't want you to paint and do stuff like that. But yet Grandpa can sit and paint for hours and hours and hours from the looks of that painting.
Yeah, and here's the contrast from last year's district convention. Sergey didn't have time to go to the conservatory and learn music, but yet it's apparent Caleb in the cartoon's learning music. I mean, they're continuously sending mixed messages. But the problem for the Jehovah's Witnesses is that they're unwilling to examine any of this. all you got to do, Jehovah's Witnesses, go to the YouTube channel Unworthy and watch Kevin Bunker confront you people face to face, and look at how unwilling you are to face reality. See, the thing is Watchtower's painting a false reality of what a typical JW life is. Oh, I want to take a day off. I've been planning this for months. Ring, ring, ring. Hey, Sister So-and-so, can you go on a Bible study with me? Well, I've been planning this day off for a long time. I just don't know. And then she goes, reads a card from Grandpa, and lo and behold, it happens to be the right card that talks about the unwilling flesh. And then
self-control.
And then she guilts herself into going onto this Bible study. Those are false realities, Watchtower. We all see it.
Well, I got to correct you there. She didn't call. She
showed up.
Because everybody knows that when you face somebody eye to eye and ask them for something, it's harder to say no.
There it is. It's harder to say no when you're asking face to face, and it's so much more easier to say no over the phone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Watchtower, you know, you're not...
Busted!
Yeah, you're not pulling the wool over this old couple's eyes right here. We see exactly what this is. It's cult indoctrination, and it's done in a way that you will guilt yourselves. You don't need an elder saying, well, you know, Sister So-and-so, you know, even though you are ahead on your hours, you should be more ahead so that we can get the congregation. Oh, wait a minute. This doesn't apply to congregation hours, does it? Because they keep that separate. So, I mean, you see the mechanism they're using here? Boy, Jehovah's Witnesses, I really hope that you can wake up and you can see how manipulated you are being.
Yeah.
Because this is the worst type of manipulation that you could do to any human being, to where you use guilt to manipulate them into doing what you want.
And being a JW sister for my entire life, I can say that it is not an easy life for the women in Jehovah's Witnesses, especially those who are wives of ministerial servants, elders' wives, CO's wives. My goodness, you know, not only do we have to be an example to the congregation, and that is hammered in us constantly. You know, you cannot let your hours fall below the 10 hours because, oh my goodness, you know. And they really want you, they want to fit you in this little box. You have to be the perfect little, you know, elder's wife or the perfect little ministerial wife, you know, and you have to do all this. And it's pure hell. It really is. And I can see why so many of my friends, you know, the sisters, were on the antidepressants, the anti-anxiety. I mean, you have, a lot of sisters would have panic attacks and, oh my God, you know, the circuit overseer is coming over for lunch. And it's like, oh, what am I going to do? And they'd throw themselves in a tizzy. But you can't take time off from service. You have to go out and service with the circuit overseer. You can't be home, you know, cooking and cleaning, preparing for the circuit overseer, because you have to be out in service into all the meetings.
Right.
So there's a lot of pressure put on sisters. And what I feel Watchtower is doing is they are just putting on more and more pressure.
Well, this is apparent because now they're using guilt. They're using words of wisdom from, you know, Grandpa, the unwilling flesh. Control yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Control yourself by taking a day to leisurely paint. And then they take that pleasure. Do you see how that pleasure is taken away from you, poor sisters? This video takes that pleasure away in a very subtle way. It does.
Yeah. Now,
wow.
Down below in the description, I'm going to put a link to a video we just watched, and it's great. An apostate is given a talk at a Kingdom Hall in Brooklyn, New York. And there's an interview before and after with the guy, the brother who did this. But it's really good. So I recommend you guys watch it.
Yes, because as you watch it, listen to what this brother's talking about. And then listen and then observe the reaction of an elder that gets up and removes him from the stage. you cannot sit here and no longer try to convince anybody that these JWs are misled, because you've got elders in the audience that are paying attention to these talks, and they're making sure that you're sticking to the script.
Yeah.
So those elders know damn well what's going on.
And I will just say one thing, that when the elder gets up to the podium and tells the whole congregation, you know, I think he apologizes if I remember right, he tells them that was a bad interpretation.
Yeah.
And all this brother was doing was going by what the Bible says.
Was going by what the Bible says.
And that's why this makes
Unbelievable.
an excellent, excellent video. And I want to thank the person that sent it to me. I'm sorry, I don't remember who sent it to me, but you know who you are.
So, yeah, Watchtower, like I said, the game's over. We all see what's going on. There is a ton of XJWs right now doing their own videos, doing their own documentary. Like I said in a previous video, you don't need to go be in someone else's documentary. You can do your own documentary. Or start your own YouTube channel. Get yourself a $25 Skype camera, or someone get your iPad, webcam. You can be your own documentary.
Smartphones?
Yes, and the more that gets out here to tell our experiences and to expose the nonsense that these guys are allegedly preaching from door to door, the quicker this organization is going to go down.
Yes. So thank you for watching, and we hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and welcome to all our new subscribers, and thank you to all our old subscribers, and you know we love you.
And if you do subscribe, if you do wish to hit the subscription button, make sure that your Jehovah's Witness family cannot track you through social media. The last thing you want to deal with is some family member asking you why you subscribe to an apostate channel. So just be cautious.
Yeah, be careful. So you all be careful out there, and we love you.
Bye.